Hey everyone, I'm CCYamato. The Chapter 51 review is in the works, but in the meantime, since that's probably going to take a day or so, or maybe up to a week, knowing me, I figured I would go over something else that happened this week. Repaint Record got an update. They completely refreshed the game, they took out a bunch of features, and they added a few new ones, and I thought it would be a good thing to go over in case you are still interested in playing this relatively simple puzzle game. So let's go over a few things that they took out first. They took out the gallery mode, which means that you can no longer see the 3D models of all of the characters in a environment that you can just freely manipulate. In fact, you can't even change Sakura's static costume anymore. She seems to always just be in the standard school uniform, and you can't change that. A little disappointing, but honestly, it was a cosmetic feature that I don't know how many people really used. They also took out the ability to craft costumes and replaced it with a Gachapon system, and I'll go over that in a little bit, but I will start this video by going over the stuff that has changed in the character menu. So, the Sakura Tomoyo thing has changed. You no longer make costumes. What you now do in this button is you change your starting loadout when you begin a game. It used to be that you could change which costumes you went into a game with and which cloud card or clear card you went into a game with, but you can't change those in the middle of play anymore. In fact, you can't change costumes at all. What you do now is you go over to this menu and you select a costume that you want to start with. And here I have the Tomoeda uniform, and you have the clear card that you want to start with. We still only have 5. And then down at the bottom here, we also have the scene cards. These are a brand new thing, and I will cover them a little bit when we get to it. But basically what scene cards do is they give you in-game advantages that you used to be able to pay jewels for, but now you can get these out of the Gachapon and you can use them in the middle of a game. I'll go over that in a little bit when we get to the game section. You can have up to 5 of these preset, and there's a few little graphical glitches you can see right there. You can actually see Sakura T-pose for dominance right before going back to her default state. Okay, so here the album page hasn't really changed. You can still go ahead and look at all of the costumes you have. Now, here's an unfortunate thing that I realized. Since they took out the costume crafting thing, and I had been saving all of my crafting recipes for some kind of event, I lost all of those crafting recipes. So, unfortunately, now I have a bunch of these empty spots that I don't get to fill in. So there's a bit of a regret on my part. I also mentioned that since they took out the costume switch that you used to be able to do in the middle of games, some of the abilities that used to activate by switching in no longer apply. Like this one here used to be, it gave you 2 extra turns when you changed into it, but now it has simply changed to increasing the score you get when eliminating green pieces, which is still a good increase. It's just, yeah, they took out that factor. Now there's a couple of glitches going on right now. For instance, you can look at the clear dress, and it's changed to making white crystals drop more, but it's listed as 0%. So not exactly helpful, but that's also a glitch. It is dropping it by some amount, or it's increasing the drop rate by some amount. I just don't know what it is because that is an error. Now let's talk about these new scene cards, because these are probably the most interesting thing that they have added to the game. So what these are is these are things that you can equip, and each one of these has an effect that can activate in-game to give you advantages. So some of the ones that I use very commonly are this one. What this one does is it allows me to delete 3 clear condition pieces, basically. So if the clear condition of the game, for instance, is I need to destroy 50 red jewels, if I activate this, it will just take 3 red jewels off the field. One of the other ones that I also like to use, and I'll show you how it works later, is that this one replaces jewels on the field with white jewels. And you can tell kind of what they do by this little icon down here. And this color here also, at a glance, can tell you basically what the effect will probably be related to. So like I said, this is a white one. It turns different colored jewels into white crystals. And then there's also the score number here, which, to be entirely honest, I don't know how to apply that score number to. You can increase that score number by leveling up the card, but I have no idea how that score number is applied. So speaking of Gachapons, here's the new thing. So I've said before, they took out the character costume creation thing. You no longer make a single random costume. What you do now is you go over here to the Gachapon thing. There are several that they're running right now, and here's one. This is the you get 10 costumes for 300 jewels. And just to go a little into how much that is, it costs $25 USD to get 240 jewels, which is 100 short of the 300. So how much do you have to spend? Well, you can either spend $50 to get 400 jewels by buying that one twice, or you can spend $60 and get 500 jewels. I gotta be honest, I don't play a lot of Gachapon games, but the dollar to diamond ratio here does not seem to be very enticing. Hey everyone, it's Yamato from the future. So even though you just heard me say that I don't think the dollar to diamond ratio is very worth it, I decided for you all, and because I do have some extra money, because it's that time of year, I'm going to do this absolutely once. I'm going to give this game some money, because I do always say support the official releases and stuff, and I'm just going to hope that at least some of this money actually goes to Cardcaptor Sakura industry in general. So here you go. Now you can see up here I have 700 gems. Yes, I bought that, and then I bought a little bit of extra so that I could come over here and buy the Gachapon twice. Okay, rose dress time, go. No, it switched to the other dress. Ooh, look, all the flowers are gold this time. So tap that, and you didn't get to see this earlier anyway, so there's the red dress. I already have that one. There we got a 4-star card. Even though it said, okay, so apparently that is not, in fact, what that said. It did not say, it said costume guaranteed, but it did not say 10 costumes guaranteed. It was 10, it's 10 items, and you're guaranteed to get a costume. Well, that's a nice scene, at least. But now I'm a little disappointed. Okay, you know what? Just jump. Alright, I got the red dress again. I already have that one. Oh, and I got some really... Oh, these are... Some of these cards don't look good either. Look, this is a 2. This is bad. I'm already regretting my decisions. I'm regretting my decisions to spend money. I did that one. So what's the difference? Because this is scene cards are guaranteed. You're guaranteed to get a 5-star scene card. That's what that is. Whereas this one is you're guaranteed to get a costume. But again, all the costumes, as we looked at here, all the costumes are the same 0.14%. I don't think I got any 5-star scenes. That's disappointing. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this one. I mean, why not? I want to get... A 5-star scene card will probably honestly do me more good than a costume anyway, so let's go ahead and do that. See, now my excitement's already gone. You can tell, like I'm no longer in it. Let me move that thing over a little bit. All right, let's just skip and let's go see what we got. All right, well, there's my 5-star scene card. So I kind of got the rose dress, and I also got this one, so that's good. That's good right here. I got this scene, which I don't know if this is. See, it's interesting because it's like 3, 3, 3s. That show. Oh no, I can definitely see there are 5 stars there. So that's okay. But I got 2 5 stars. That's pretty good. I'm okay with that. In the time since I recorded earlier, I did get enough P coins here. Oh no, I didn't. I'm actually short P coins. I was gonna pull that, but it doesn't matter. It's the same animation. Anyway, back to the original video. Now over here we have this new ticket Gachapon thing, which they have not distributed any of these tickets yet, so I don't know how this one works, but it looks like it is just... It's another version of the Jewel Gachapon. Maybe you can just earn these tickets through some kind of in-game thing, I don't know. And the last thing is the normal Gachapon, which you are able to pull this for free once a day, and then you can also pull it later, or as many times as you want, using these P coins, which you get from playing the game. I don't have enough coins to play right now. But that is not indicative of whether or not the P coins are hard. Actually, the P coins are really easy to get. They're very easy to farm. It's just that I've spent them all already because, again, they're really easy to get. But what you get out of here is you get basically the weaker scene cards, and you also get these little things here. These are materials for leveling up your costumes. And what do I mean by leveling up costumes? Well, let's go back to the character screen and I'll show you about that. So back here on the character screen, what you can do to level up your costumes or your scene cards is you can go over to any of your scene cards and you can just pick one and it will show you the materials that you can use. Now, you have the little color up here and that shows it'll preload the color that goes with it. But in theory, I think you can use basically any color you want. It'll just be less efficient. But here you go. All you do is you just add a couple. And there you'll see it'll jump from 1 to 12. It is 1,200 total, I don't know, experience that I'm adding to this card. And that is the score jump from 19 to 40. I have no idea how to apply that number. I don't know what it really does. But that's what leveling does. And in theory, leveling up the cards just makes them more efficient. Now over here, in the costumes, you can see several of these costumes are at level 1. That's because I got them before the game was revitalized. And what you can see here is that, there you go, its score power is 1. But what I can do is, you can get these hairbrushes by just playing the game. Here we go. I'll just level up these pajamas here. So I'll use the white hairbrush. And it'll show it'll go from level 1 to 2. Its score power will go to 2. That's great. And it's 100, so there you go. It's not really a flashy level up. You did see the little sparkle effect up there, but that's it. Okay, so the last thing to cover here is just the actual gameplay of this mobile game. Has anything of this changed? The gameplay itself hasn't changed too much. The main things that have changed have been aesthetic changes. You do, by the way, still have access to these abilities, but I find them to be completely useless now that the scene cards are out, and I'll show you why. So the main gameplay change that has been made, as I mentioned, is that the scene cards were introduced, and the scene cards give you in-game advantages when they're activated. The cosmetic changes that have come about, as you can see just now, is that the jewels have changed colors. So originally they were pink, light blue, yellow, green, and purple. Now they are red, blue, orange, green, yellow. Oh, there's actually 6 colors now. It's just occurring to me that there are now 6 colors because you can't see any of them right now, but here's red, blue, green, yellow, and orange. There are 6 colors. There didn't used to be 6. I'm realizing that just now as I'm recording this. But anyway, some of the other cosmetic things that have changed here. You can see here are your scene cards, and you can actually just hold them and it'll tell you what they do if you forgot. And you can also see over here, your clear card has a little meter. And that's actually a very nice addition because now, as you play the game, you can see the meter start to fill. And it's a little hard to see up here in the side here, but you can see the meters of all of your scene cards also starting to go up. So let me just knock out a few things here so I can get some stuff to activate, and I'll show you what the scene cards do. I do like the scene cards. Okay, so one of them just activated, so it's my top one. So what happens here is once a scene card is ready, you can, it'll replace one of the things on your field, and it will allow you to activate the effect if you click on it. Now, it's very important to notice that in this game where you have move counters, moving your pieces like that, that is a move. But using your scene cards is a free action. It does not decrease the counter at all, and it's very good to use them. So there you go. That one just replaced some of my pieces and made them white. This one will just remove 3 of the clear condition pieces, which is, you can see up here, I have to pop bubbles and get rid of clouds. So you can just keep doing that. And there is no score penalty really to using them. In fact, I've found that my scores have gone way up by using them. And I can't tell if that's just because, say, the score power of my dress here is really high, because I have leveled up the clear dress quite a bit. Or it's because, say, the add 2 turns thing that I use there just allows me to make the game last a lot longer, and I can just keep getting combo pieces. Okay, so here we are with the victory, and I'll just show you what winning looks like, because I am a winner. You just skip through all of this, where it just clears everything. That part hasn't changed at all. That part is still the same. There is, by the way, no score penalty to using the scene cards. In fact, I've found that my scores have just gotten better the more I use them. Now, here's the thing that's changed, of course, is that we don't get those sewing materials anymore. We get level up materials, and like I was saying earlier, you get these easily farmable coins. So the better you do in a round, the more coins you get, and then you can take them to go get level ups and continue the cycle all over again. And that's it. That's the revitalization of Repaint Record. I'm going to keep playing it. It's a fun enough little puzzle game to play. If you want to play it, it's not hard to get. You just need a VPN so that you can download from the Japanese servers. But that's not difficult. I'll put a link down in the description of an easy way to do that if you're on Android. If you're on iPhone, I'm pretty sure it's as easy as simply changing your phone's region, which is even easier, because at least for Android, you have to hop through a hoop or two. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please do all your YouTube stuff, and I will see you hopefully soon for a Chapter 51 review.